Hello and welcome back to Modded Minecraft All the Mods 6. And check it out, behind me we have the beast himself. Now I'm still waiting for names to come in for the dragon, so we can't name him yet. But this episode we're going to complete the set. So we have an amazing looking dragon, complete with armor, and we will have to age him up, and or her up, and get her some more dragon meal. I've got an amazing looking set of armor, and the unobtainium armor is pretty bitchin' as well. But what we don't have is a super amazing sword, and that's why this episode we're going to look into the Mahou Tsukai mod. Oh my god, will you be quiet for just 1 minute? But yeah, we're going to look into the magic mod that will get us eventually the Morgan sword. So let's jump in. Now this mod is super not simple. There is a lot to know about this whole mod. The book is pretty vague as well. It talks about boundaries, which you should all have. It talks about mana, how you can kind of like keep mana and things. It's a complicated mod, but what we're doing is we're starting with the Caliburn. Now I feel like the Caliburn is pretty end game for this mod, but since we have so many ingredients and reagents and resources, I think we can probably zip down the Caliburn tree and get one super quick. The way it works is the Caliburn is then the sword that becomes the Morgan sword. So before we jump into the Caliburn, let's start with the basics, like performing magic. And we need a couple of things. We need mana. I don't think it's this mana bar we have in the top left, because I got that from opening a different book. But yeah, we need mana, a cloth, a blood circle, and 3 powdered catalysts. Okay, that sounds pretty simple. So where do we start then? I've typed in Mahou into not enough items, and it shows me all of the items we can make for the mod. It's not that many items, so I imagine you kind of have to rely on magic a lot for this mod. So I think we're going to need spell cloth, which means we need a Mahou dagger. And this all seems pretty simple. In fact, I have almost everything. Alright, let's make a Mahou dagger. There we go. So we've got the Mahou dagger. Now we put this into the crafting grid with some wool and hey prestorino, some spell cloth. That's what I'm saying. Alright, sweet. So what is spellcloth used for? So the other thing we're going to need is a bunch of these powders. Powdered diamond, emerald, ender, and powdered eye, sure. Powdered gold, but how do you make these powders from this mod? Well, you don't just put the metals in a grinder, that'll get you dust. You have to use, I think, a mortar and pestle. Here's the pestle. Ooh, 3 diamonds. Pretty expensive. And then the mortar itself, again, another diamond. Man, diamond bowls. We're, of course, also going to need some clay bricks, so let's go over and put those into the furnace. Hello, Mr. Villager. How's it going? Man, I just love... He's a fisherman. I love how many villagers we have just milling around the farm now. Feels much more alive. So, the Morgan and the Caliburn, I guess they're kind of supposed to be famous swords based on maybe some kind of anime, maybe some kind of, like, actual folklore. Most anime is based on Western legends, only weirdly mistold. So yeah, it got me to thinking, like, what other famous kind of weapons and swords are there in games? Now, I remember things like, obviously, World of Warcraft had Thunder Fury, Shadowmourne, like a whole bunch. Like, basically, World of Warcraft is more like World of Famous Fantasy Swordscraft. So I want you guys in the comment section to basically drop me what you think is your favorite fantasy sword from Legend. It can be a game, a movie, a book, like an actual old story, like King Arthur. I think that's where the Morgan sword comes from, maybe. I don't know, Excalibur? That was a sword. Oh yeah, Excalibur, yeah, of course. And then, yeah, oh, so I guess they put an N on it to make it like fiery and edgy. So we'll just start making a load of these powders. I think a stack of each should be... Wait, what? Powdered diamond. I need a hammer? Oh no, I can use a mortar and pestle. So we've got the powder, we've got the cloth. Where do we begin now? Well, let's take another look in the book and see what the next step is. So we need to draw a blood circle. We've got 3 powdered catalysts. We've got all of those. That's no sweat. And we do have some cloth. So here we go. You put the cloth down first and draw a blood circle on top. Well, let's give this a go. I've got the spell cloth here. And I have all of the catalysts. And again, this area here is like the perfect space for us to do this. So how do we draw a blood circle on the cloth? Well, maybe the dagger has 2 uses. I can imagine like pricking myself with the dagger to make a blood circle. That makes sense. Okay, so there are some controls for Mahou. There we go. So I found a button that lets me put down a circle. And it looks like this circle only needs to be on one block. So here we go. And that button is Draw Mahou Sjin. So it looks like that's a Mahou Sjin, a circle kind of thing for magic. Okay, so we have the cloth down, we've drawn a blood circle, and we have powdered catalysts. So what kind of spell do we want to do? So the Caliburn sword is kind of like Excalibur in that you have to get it from like the Lady of the Lake, but they've kind of weirdly changed that. Here you have to use the power consolidation ritual to make a pond or a lake, and this circle when placed on the floor will spawn a lake. Each growth of the lake costs 30 mana. When the lake has reached full size, the caster can throw in an enchanted sword in order to get Caliburn. And exchanging a sword costs 5,000 mana. Okay, well that seems really simple. All we need is powdered diamonds and emeralds. No cloth apparently, we do it on the floor. And then we need to feed it mana. Now I'm not quite sure how all this works, so we're going to dig all this up and do it in a safe spot. Far away from anywhere where we might make a lake in the middle of our farm. That's not really what we want. What we want to do is find a safe spot, maybe out here in the woods. Or maybe not actually. I mean, it's cool. I like the kind of light beams that come through the trees. But I think this is again a little bit too close to our lab. So here we are on the other end of our colony, and now let's clear a space to do these magic mods. And there we go, day dawns on another day on the farm, and it looks like we have like a number in the top left, Mahou 100 of 100. Well, let's try this power consolidation ritual then. So maybe I prick myself with the dagger, like that, then put down a circle, boom. And the book said no cloth required. Now we're going to take 2 diamond and an emerald powder and put these into the power circle. So it's diamond, diamond, and emerald. Whoop. Oh no, oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, so the ritual has worked and it's slowly made this weird kind of murky lake. However, the lake is kind of spreading from the center and it looks like it will swallow up one of our courier huts if we try and put it here. So I'm going to break that stuff and get rid of this murky water here because it's all gross and stuff. And let's make a much bigger space over here for this lake. And there we go, we're really far away from the colony now. If I put a ritual over here, there's no way we're going to make the lake kind of encroach on our colony. So let's do it again. Prick myself with a dagger. Press the button. Couple of diamonds, 1 emerald, and the ritual has begun. Now the ritual is draining my mana. You see there in the top left, I've got 16 of 101. So what we need to do is work out a way that we can get loads more mana. What does the book say about mana? So here we go. If you craft an attuner with a diamond or emerald, you can get an attuned gem. These gems will store mana for you. If you right-click while holding the gem, spells will automatically draw from any gems in your person. So let's make some of those first. And there we go, an attuner. So it looks like we can attune a diamond. So let's do this a couple of times and get a few attuned gems so we have loads and loads and loads of this stored up. Amazing. Okay, great. So what are the ways of getting mana? We get it slowly back over time. But let's cover this up actually. We get mana back slowly over time, but that's definitely what we don't want because that's going to take way too long. This consolidation ritual is happening, but it's very, very, very frickin' slow. So maybe there's a way for us to get lots and lots of mana real quick. So what is this? A boundary of drain life. The boundary of drain life slowly drains health from nearby mobs in a range of 10. For every health drained, health, hunger, or mana is restored to the caster. Oh, whoa, in that order. So first it heals health, then it heals hunger, and if both of those are full, you get mana. So I think the idea is you combine these with a few spawners, and hey presto, all of your mana concerns are solved. So we're going to make a whole bunch of these boundaries of drain life. And we're going to do it over here, out of the way of where this lake is eventually going to be. Oh man, I've got to say, it is really nice to be away from the farm, just because all of my lag problems kind of just completely go away. Very smooth, very nice. Now again, this is where having loads of resources comes in super handy because I've got loads of fence, loads of this darkstone stuff. So I can make a pretty sweet looking, well, not an amazing looking, but basically I can very easily put down a quick and dirty area for us to do some drain lifing. Okay, so let's do it. Just a ticket, okay, let's go. Now, while I've been building this little structure for drain life, what has been happening in the background is I've been passively generating mana, obviously, and the lake itself has been expanding. Now, how deep does this sucker go? Oh, whoa, look at this. Now, this looks very cool underneath. It's like a greeny kind of murky lake. I love it, I love it. Not very kind of Lady of the Lake. Honestly, I kind of feel like I don't want to meet the lady that lives in this lake because it is like polluted as hell. She's gonna be really, really rough. Okay, there we go. It's primitive and very, 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 very simple, but this looks like a workable pen. Now let's think about getting some spawners in here with some creatures that we can drain the life of. Now, what I've heard is you can drain the life of witches because witches will heal themselves with potions and never die, and so that way you can farm them really, really effectively. But of course, we put all of our captured quote-unquote entities in a chest near to the computer over here. So let's dig through this and get the witches out. Oh yeah. Now let's see if I can remember how to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to put the spawner quite high in the sky and let the witches fall down. I think here is pretty good. Cardboard box down. And we'll wait with the cardboard box to open it up because there will be monsters inside there that'll come out. Have the mob swab ready with the witch DNA. Wait, no. Oh, no. Now I remember. We need to use the mob swab to make chicken feed to make a witch egg. That's right. Now I remember. Oh, man. Quite convoluted. Oh, come back here. They're so hard to click when they're in flowers.
Happy birthday, Taco!
Oh man, that jingle never gets old. Amazing, there we go. Oh wait, so I think the lake has stopped growing because we've got over 30 mana now and it is not getting deeper or bigger. Could it be? And the ritual that was on top has vanished. Aha! So we've reached peak lake. And this is A, not as big as I was worried it was going to be, and B, kind of done. That means our farm for XP over here, our mana farm, might be kind of redundant, or at least it would be. However, I know a little thing or two about Mahou Tsukai, and I know for a fact that you're always going to want a mana farm like this. So let's whip this cardboard box off, change it from spiders to witches, freshly caught witches, and let's see if this works. Come to me, witches. Oh, now that is a good point. We might have trouble here because of the mega torches we've put down. Because look at this, there's no witches appearing. Oh wait, hang on a sec. No, it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the cardboard box out, cover this bad boy up. Whoops. And I think now it's time to put down a few more boundaries of drain life. Yeah. The big problem was we are far enough away from the colony to get monsters, but these things only spawn at night, even with a spawner. Makes a lot of sense, and that's why when you put torches around a spawner, you can stop them from spawning. Okay, cool. And there we go. We'll start with 5 for the time being and see how we go. Okay, so what is the next step? Now, shaders also make things a bit buggy, so it's quite hard to see if areas are possible for you to spawn monsters in. You can just kind of see the outline there of like some yellow squares. And if you kind of, there's enough red in the middle here for us to get plenty of things spawning. So let's fire this box up and keep away from these witches. So we have our mana farm and we have our little kind of murky lake. Okay, back to the book. How do we make a Caliburn? Exchanging a sword costs 5,000 mana, but if we've only got 100 mana, how can we ever possibly do that? Now I've looked it up, and in my version it has to be a diamond sword that's enchanted and then turned into what we're looking for. Let's create an amazing diamond sword. However, one of you guys said in the enchantment library, like we have here, I can put multiple different enchantments on the same book. So let's see. Blast protection 3. And now if I try and put beheading as well. Aha, we get a book of blast protection and beheading. So how many things can we get on this thing? Bane of arthropods, Bane of villagers. 4 enchants. Whoa, let's keep going. Oh my god, I don't think there's a limit on how many things we can put onto a book. Leech. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my god, 8 enchantments. This is freaking insane. Okay, so this could be the craziest book I've ever made. Look at this. There's like 20 enchantments on here. We'll make the book. I'm going to make a diamond sword now, and oh my god. But now we've got a crazy diamond enchanted sword. We've got 2 of them, actually. So let's toss it into the lake and see what happens. Okay, here it is, the moment of truth. O Lady of the Lake, blesseth me with the power of the Caliburn, fabled sword of legends. The sword in the lake? Oh, acquire a new sword by throwing yours into the lake. The lady must be on vacation. Where is the sword? Do you guys see a sword? Oh, there it is. It's floating up. Could this be? Wait, what? I didn't get a new sword. The lady's on vacation. Well, what I'm thinking is maybe you need smite on the sword, because it does say in the book that it has to be a holy sword. Smite is a pretty holy enchantment. Let's see if that works. Oh, Lady of the Lake, I know last time you weren't quite happy with my sword, but this time, hear me cry. I want a new sword, please give me a cool one. I don't think she's going to give me a cool one. Oh man, nothing. You know what? I just don't think she's happy with the sword, or I think we don't have enough mana for us to get this sword, because it does say in the book we need 5,000 mana. Now, as you can see, we've got a few more spawners over here with witches in, and I've got my special attuned diamond here. Maybe I can get these witches to get... Ooh, no, don't tase me, bro. Maybe these witches will get drained now, and I'll be able to fill up my attuned diamond. Aha! So with these boundaries, you have to right-click to turn them on, and as you can see, as I right-click these, they are slowly turning on. Okay, boom. But what I can do is, as this mana is coming in, as this Mahou is coming in, I'm right-clicking with my attuned diamond and putting all of the mana in that to store it for safekeeping. Because once we get to 5,000, I can use it to turn in a Caliburn. So the big question is now, what can we do to get these witch spawners to spawn more witches? Well, let's take a look. We've tried this before. The Apotheosis mod has a number of ways for you to upgrade these spawners, to make them spawn more witches, to make them spawn witches quicker, and all kinds of things. Okay, so let's toss some sugar into these bad boys. There we go. Loads of sugar going in. Whoa, boom. Goal reached spawning speed. What does that mean? Decrease the minimum spawn delay of a spawner to 5. Well, I guess I've done that then. Cool. Now it's time to use some of these other things like the Nether Star. And that will, there we go, look at this, factory-ready spawners. Now these spawners ignore the requirement for me to be nearby, so I can be over off in another continent, and these things will still spawn witches. Perfect. Oh man, now this is actually pretty cool. I'm slowly filling up this attuned diamond. It's at 500 now, but I'm getting loads and loads of mana back, and obviously as I use mana and store it in this gem, my mana capacity is also going up. I'm up to 180 already. That's really cool. Oh, boom, there it is. 5,000 mana. Okay, now let's have a sleep, and then tomorrow morning we can toss our sword in and get ourselves a Caliburn. So we've got the enchanted diamond sword with smite. We've got at our disposal loads and loads of mana, 5,000 mana. So let's toss this bad boy into the lake, and fingers crossed, the moment of truth. Ooh, I lost 5,000 from the diamond. I think the Lady of the Lake has blessed me with the Caliburn. There it is. Oh my god, and that's so cool. Look how it just like floats in the water. Oh yes, the Caliburn. So how much damage does this bad boy do? Hover over it. 12.2. The damage cap can be increased by throwing the sword back into the lake with an ATM star. Ooh, but luckily the innate cap is 10,000. So apparently you can upgrade this sword by enchanting it and then throwing it back in the lake. So let's try that once to see if it works. So here we go, boom, a Caliburn with Sea Infusion, Beheading and Teleportation. Let's head over to the lake and see what the lady will give us for this. Now also I believe every time you throw this sword back into the lake, it costs 5,000 mana or 5,000 Mahou. There we go, 5,081. Let's toss Caliburn back into the lake. I've lost the mana, there it goes, and let's see what this has done to the sword. Oh, okay. And let's take a look. 12. Now I've heard that the level of enchantments that you put on the sword dictate what you get back. That makes sense. Now also, instead of using these attuned diamonds, which take a long time because I have to keep right clicking to fill them up, you can also use something to store mana called a mana circuit. So mana circuits are blocks which store mana. Mana in them can be used by the player when nearby. Okay, cool. So how do we make a mana circuit? Well, it looks like here it is, a Magitech mana circuit from Mahou Tsukai, and it's just powdered emeralds and iron. No sweat, I can do that. What the? Oh my god, I love that bug. It's just so cool. So, Magitech mana circuits. Oh, there's also regular mana circuits. Wait, what? So there we go, we have 4 of these, and we're going to put one down right here near the lake. Whoa, this thing can store 100,000 mana. Wait a minute, hold a sec, what is this? Summon familiar. When used, the player summons a familiar. Oh, no way, can I get like a cool familiar? Well, okay, let's find out. Powdered quartz, which I have. 3 bits of quartz, and summon familiar. Now, if I right click, it should, ho ho ho, I've got a scroll of summon familiar. So let's try casting this. Oh, yeah, okay. So I've got a tiny little bird familiar. I'm not quite sure what this thing's supposed to do. I mean, it looks pretty cool, I guess. Hello. He's got 10 health, and I guess he just hangs around. So we have a familiar, we have the Caliburn sword. We worked out how to upgrade the Caliburn sword slowly. We worked out how to store mana, and we worked out how to generate massive amounts of mana. So how do we get the Morgan sword? How do we upgrade the Caliburn into the Morgan? It's obtained through the murder of a player's best and most loyal friend. Wait, am I familiar? With the Holy Sword Caliburn, this sword contains its power not from a mysterious lake, but from the killing of innocents. Aha, here we go. Villagers, and more so child villagers, provide a damage bonus for this sword, and also heal any damage the sword has. Okay, so fast forward, and I've borrowed the villager spawner from the blender and put down 3 more spawners, all with villager eggs inside, upgraded them through apotheosis so they spawn pretty quickly. And now what we have up in the sky are 4 spawners that should spawn villagers and drop them down here. So there you go. Thank you for watching this episode of Modded Minecraft. I have my Caliburn now. So I'm going to toss this into the lake a few times and see if I can upgrade this sword a little bit more. Hopefully next time we can upgrade it from the Caliburn to the Morgan sword. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe. A huge thank you to everybody that comments and also to channel members. And until next time, take care.